My child, let this be the day you release what I never placed in your hands. You have been carrying burdens that were never mine to give. You have been holding onto relationships, opportunities, roles, and identities that did not come from my voice. And I say again, let go of what I didn't give you. The world is full of noise, and in that noise, it is easy to confuse desire with direction. But not every open door was opened by me. Not every opportunity is ordained. Not every voice that praises you is speaking truth. In Genesis, Abraham received a promise from me, a son, an heir. But when the wait grew long, he leaned on his own understanding. He accepted a shortcut, fathered Ishmael, and stepped outside the boundaries of grace. Was Ishmael a human? Yes. Was he loved? Yes. But was he the promise? No. There is a difference between what is permissible and what is promised. And many of you are tired not because of what I asked you to carry, but because of what you picked up out of fear, insecurity, or haste, the job you took out of pressure, the relationship you held onto out of fear of being alone, the identity you embraced to please others, the dream you chased because someone else called it valuable. But I am calling you back to the altar, to lay it down, because if I didn't give it, you don't need it. If I didn't speak it, you don't have to chase it. If I didn't lead you there, you don't have to remain there. My yoke is easy. My burden is light. Anything that crushes your soul and fractures your peace is not of me. It is time to discern again. It is time to quiet the noise. It is time to ask not, can I? But, did God give this? You don't need to prove your worth by holding what's too heavy. You don't need to earn love by sacrificing your identity. You don't need to wear the expectations others placed on you. I already clothed you in righteousness. Let go, not as a sign of defeat, but as a declaration of faith. Release what was never anointed. Release what only delays your obedience. Release what keeps your hands full of lesser things. Because what I have for you requires empty hands and an open heart. Isaiah chapter 43 verses 18 to 19 says, "Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up, do you not perceive it? You cannot receive the new while gripping the old. You cannot walk into freedom while dragging what was formed in fear. You cannot hear my whisper through the voices you've elevated above me. Come back to the simplicity of trust. Come back to the quiet strength of surrender. Come back to the peace that flows when you align with my voice above all others. Let go of what I didn't give you, and make room for what I did. If this word is touching you, if the Spirit is stirring something deep inside, I invite you to pause and reflect, and if you feel led, like, comment, share, or subscribe so that others may also be reminded to return to what is true. We walk this together, not alone. Now listen. You are not failing by releasing. You are obeying. You are not weak because you're stepping away. You are wise. You are not disappointing me by surrendering. You are honoring me. Because the longer you hold what I didn't give, the more you delay what I did. And this world cannot afford another delayed assignment. You were born for such a time as this. But you must travel light. I cannot anoint what I did not author. I cannot bless what I did not breathe. And I will not force you to drop what I never placed in your hands. But I will wait, and I will whisper, let it go, and watch what I place in your life when your hands are free to receive it. Think back to the moments when you said yes, not because you were led by peace, but because you were driven by pressure. The friendship that felt more like obligation than joy. The job that looked like provision but drained your purpose. The plan you clung to because everyone else approved it. Even when I remained silent, you asked me to bless what I never planted. You prayed for peace while building on your own blueprints. But I am not a God of confusion. I am not the author of chaos. And yet you find yourself exhausted, stretched thin, overcommitted and undernourished, not because I led you into this pace, but because you followed voices that did not speak from my spirit. Let's go deeper now. In 1 Samuel chapter 8, Israel demanded a king. They wanted to be like the nations around them. They rejected my voice for human structure. I gave them Saul, not because it was best, but because they insisted. Do you see? I will not violate your will. But I will let you walk through your choices, even the ones outside my best, if that's what you fix your heart on. But grace still whispers, let go of what I didn't give you. Because even if it came wrapped in success, applause, opportunity, or affirmation, if it did not come from my spirit, it will not bear eternal fruit. I'm calling you back to alignment, back to intimacy, back to the quiet trust that says, even if it costs me the approval of man, I will not carry what God did not assign. You were never created to perform for favor. You already have it. You were never designed to hustle for identity. I already named you. You were never meant to climb ladders built on compromise. I already seated you in heavenly places. So stop striving to sustain what I never started. Stop bleeding for blessings I never promised. Stop defending doors I never opened. Instead, be still, and know that I am God. My child, you're afraid of what letting go might cost. You fear being misunderstood. You fear regret. You fear the unknown that follows obedience. But let me assure you, the cost of clinging is far greater than the cost of surrender. Clinging to what I didn't give will deplete your joy. It will confuse your calling. It will blur your discernment. Letting go will hurt, but holding on will hollow you. Release it, lay it down at my feet, and watch what I restore. I am not punishing you. I am pruning you. And pruning is not loss, it is preparation. I only cut what hinders growth. I only remove what blocks fruit. I only strip what steals strength from the root. You don't need more, you need what I gave. And what I gave is enough. You don't need louder, you need clearer. You don't need bigger, you need deeper. And you will never find clarity while clinging to counterfeit comfort. Let go, not just physically, but spiritually. Detach your heart. Release your grip. Turn your eyes back to me. I have better. I have more. But I need your hands open. And your heart surrendered. Let's revisit my servant Jonah. I told him to go to Nineveh, a hard place. But the right place. Instead, he boarded a ship for Tarshish. Running from my command, the storm came, not as a punishment, but as a course correction. And when he was finally tossed into the sea, swallowed by a great fish, and left with nothing but surrender, that's when he found clarity. That's when he remembered me. Some of the storms in your life are not sent to destroy you. They are sent to detach you. To disconnect you from what I never called you to. To unfasten your soul from the idols you adopted out of fear. You are Jonah in the storm, and my grace is still near. But you must ask yourself, what am I holding that God did not assign? What am I protecting that God never promised? What am I defending that God never approved? Child, I am jealous for your heart. Not because I need your performance, but because I made your soul for my presence. I do not compete with idols. I do not coexist with compromise. And I will not allow you to flourish in disobedience. That relationship that pulls you away from me? That platform that costs your peace? That habit that numbs the ache but hides the root? Let it go, and come back to me. Hosea chapter 2 verse 14 says, Therefore, behold, I will allure her, and bring her into the wilderness, and speak tenderly to her. Yes, the wilderness, not the palace, not the crowd, not the noise, the wilderness, because it's there, in the stillness, the stripping, the silence, that you finally hear me. You thought the wilderness was punishment, but it's intimacy. You thought the silence meant I had left, but it's where I speak clearest. You thought the delay was denial, but it's actually my protection. I will take everything you cling to that kills you slowly, not because I'm angry, but because I love you too much to let it continue. I will strip away what poisons your joy. I will confront what competes for your heart. I will break what blocks your freedom. Because you cannot walk in fullness while holding fragments. Let it go. It is not the blessing that makes you whole, it is my presence. It is not the platform that defines your value, it is my voice. It is not the relationship that validates your worth, it is my blood. You are not what you lost. You are not what they said. You are not what you built without me. You are what I've declared, beloved, chosen, redeemed, and being made whole. And I don't need you to rebuild your life alone. I only need your surrender. I don't need you to prove your faith. I only need your trust. Let go of what I didn't give you, and you will find more of me than you ever imagined possible. There are things that felt good in the moment but were not good for your mission. There are relationships that fed your ego but starved your soul. There are paths that brought applause but robbed you of peace. You don't need to demonize them, but you do need to release them. Because when I said I had plans to prosper you, I meant plans aligned with your eternal purpose, not your temporary comfort. Look again at the story of Lot. Abraham brought him along, even though I never instructed him to. Their flocks grew, and tension followed. Eventually, they separated. Lot chose the fertile land near Sodom. It looked appealing, but it led him into danger. Not everything that looks like opportunity is a divine assignment. Not everyone you love is meant to go with you into the next season. Some connections were only for a chapter, not the whole book. And when you keep reading old chapters, you miss the plot I'm writing now. I am writing something new. But you cannot carry expired things into fresh anointing. I told the Israelites in Exodus to gather manna daily. Not to store it up. Not to preserve it. Just to receive what was needed for today. But some didn't listen. They hoarded it. They feared lack. And the manna rotted. That is what happens when you try to hold what I gave only for a season. It begins to decay. What once sustained you now burdens you. What once was grace now becomes weight. And I'm inviting you. Let it go before it spoils your joy. Let go of expired assignments. Let go of expired approval. Let go of yesterday's revelation and ask me for today's word. Because I am not a God of repetition. I am a God of renewal. And if you would let go of what I didn't give, you would finally have space to receive what I did. My promise is still alive. My purpose still stands. But I will not bless what is born out of disobedience. I will not pour new wine into old wineskins. I will not crown what I never called. So release it. Grieve it if you must. Mourn the dream. Lay down the idol. Let go of the title. But do not delay your obedience. Because what I have ahead requires all of you, not the divided version you became to keep what I never gave. Let me refine you. Let me reorient you. Let me restore you. But it starts with letting go. Not of everything, only of what I didn't give. You have mistaken resistance for failure. But resistance is not always a sign to push harder, sometimes. It is me blocking what I never gave. I closed that door not to punish you, but to protect you. I disrupted that plan because it was taking you further from me. I took that opportunity away because it was anchoring your identity in the world, not in the word. Don't confuse my no with rejection. Sometimes my no is the loudest yes for your soul. And my delay is not denial, it is discipline. It is me preparing you to carry the weight of my promise without collapsing under the weight of pressure. I am shaping your character before I reveal the blessing. Because the blessing without the maturity will become your undoing. You've asked me to bless what I never planted, but I love you too much to answer that prayer. Instead, I am pruning. I am cutting away false attachments. I am separating the wheat from the chaff. I am removing what can't go with you where you're headed. And yes, it will feel like loss. But it's actually alignment. You don't need more hustle. You need more holiness. You don't need more control. You need more surrender. You don't need the weight of everyone's expectations. You need the peace of walking in obedience. This is your season of surrender. Not striving. Not proving. Not chasing. Just listening. Just obeying. Just letting go. You're afraid of being empty-handed. But empty hands are ready hands. Hands ready to receive what is true. What is whole. What is holy. Let me fill your life with my wisdom. Not the world's noise. Let me clothe you in my righteousness. Not your resume. Let me crown you with my favor. Not the applause of the crowd. Because what I give, no man can steal. What I place, no storm can shake. What I promise, no delay can cancel. But you must choose. Choose release over routine. Choose purpose over popularity. Choose my voice over the voices that praise your disobedience. Choose peace over performance. Choose what I gave, and let go of what I didn't. There is a danger in being loyal to what I never anointed. Loyal to the old version of yourself. Loyal to the image you crafted for survival. Loyal to the roles others assigned to you. But I am not calling you to loyalty, I'm calling you to lordship. And lordship means letting me rule over every room in your heart. Even the ones where you've hidden the things you were afraid to lose. Let me in. Let me walk through the corridors of your soul. Let me speak to the corners where compromise has taken root. Let me dismantle the altars you built in my name but never on my word. Yes, it will feel like death, but it is actually deliverance. Because resurrection always comes after surrender. Look at Jesus in Gethsemane. Even he, fully God and fully man, had to wrestle with the weight of surrender. Not my will, but yours be done. That is the prayer that unlocks the promise. That is the posture that releases heaven. And that is the position I am calling you back to. You are not behind, you are being positioned. You are not forgotten, you are being refined. But you must trust me enough to let go. The false narratives, the expectations, the pressure, the fear, the pride, let it all fall. You don't need to perform for me. You don't need to impress me. You don't need to convince me. I see you. I know you. And I still call you mine. I've been waiting for this moment, not to shame you, but to free you. To remind you that the weight you carry is not proof of strength. It's a sign you've picked up what I never gave. So lay it down. At the altar of truth. At the foot of the cross. At the place where grace meets surrender. I will meet you there. And when I do, I will replace every false thing with what is real. Your burden for my peace. Your striving for my stillness. Your hustle for my hope. Your fear for my favor. But it begins when you open your hands and say, Father, take what you never gave, and give what only you can. Let this be that moment. The moment everything shifts. Not because circumstances change, but because you did. Because you finally chose surrender over control. And now I can do what only I can do. Because you've made room. Because you've let go. Let me coach your soul back into alignment. You are not too late. You are not too far gone. You are not beyond restoration. But you must choose what's eternal over what's easy. You must choose the narrow road, not the popular path. You must choose presence over performance. And most of all, you must choose me over everything I didn't give. This is not just about letting go of things, it's about letting go of lies. The lie that your value comes from what you do. The lie that your worth depends on their approval. The lie that you have to hold it all together to be loved. Those lies did not come from me. I am the truth. And truth doesn't bind, it sets you free. Free to rest. Free to breathe. Free to trust again. Free to dream again. But only if you're willing to let go of what I never intended for you to carry. Every false expectation. Every forced identity. Every assignment driven by fear. I'm not calling you to build bigger, I'm calling you to build better. Deeper. Rooted in my word. Established in grace. Unshakable. Not because of what you hold, but because of who holds you. You don't have to be everything. You just have to be mine. You don't have to get it all right. You just have to surrender. I don't expect perfection. I ask for obedience. Because obedience is the seed of peace. And peace is what I promised. Not the absence of conflict, but the presence of confidence that I am with you. And if I'm with you, who can be against you? Let this be your defining moment. Where you drop the weight of what I never gave. And take up the joy of what I did. Forgiveness. Freedom. Calling. Peace. Hope. Eternal purpose. Unshakable love. It's already yours. You don't have to fight for it. Just stop fighting me. Let me lead. Let me restore. Let me be enough. And watch what happens when you finally stop reaching for what was never yours. I will give you more than what you lost. More than what they promised. More than what you thought you needed. But only when you let go, completely, fully, willingly, of what I didn't give. There are gifts I've prepared for you, but they require your hands to be free. Free from the grip of anxiety. Free from the grip of control. Free from the grip of your past. I know what was done to you. I know what you lost. I know the story behind your silence and the battles behind your smile. But I did not abandon you there. I was with you in the fire. I was with you in the valley. And I'm still with you now. But for you to walk in resurrection, you must bury what's dead. Stop carrying graves. Stop calling normal what was never holy. Stop dressing your trauma in spiritual language to avoid letting it go. I am not asking you to forget it. I am asking you to surrender it. To place it in my hands and trust that I am not only the God who saves, I am the God who restores. Joel chapter 2 verse 25 says, I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. I didn't just promise healing, I promised restoration. But restoration starts with removal. I must remove what doesn't align before I release what does. You keep asking me for next, but you won't release what was. You're praying for clarity, but holding on to confusion. You want to walk in authority, but still carry agreements with fear. Break the agreement. Renounce the lie. Sever the tie. Let go of what I didn't give. And I will rebuild you on the rock that never shifts. You're not too broken. You're not too slow. You're not disqualified. You're exactly where grace meets surrender. Lift your eyes. Breathe in truth. Let go, and live. You'll look back on this day and say, that was the moment everything changed. Not because everything around you shifted, but because you finally did. You let go, and I stepped in. And what I give, no one can take away. You've confused delay with denial. But what feels like waiting is actually preparation. And in preparation, I always purge. I strip away what distracts. I prune what hinders. I press so that new oil flows. And I remove what doesn't serve the next season of your purpose. Don't cling to what I'm cutting. Don't fight to resurrect what I buried. Don't run back to what I rescued you from. Israel cried out to return to Egypt, not because Egypt was good, but because it was familiar. But I didn't free you for you to go back. I didn't deliver you for you to revisit what enslaved you. Let go of your Egypt. Let go of the lies that made bondage feel like belonging. Let go of the habits that kept you busy but not fruitful. Let go of the people who pulled you from purpose. Let go, not in theory, but in truth. Release it. Write the letter you'll never send. Delete the number that opens the wrong door. Shut down the voice that speaks against your worth. Silence the agreements that bind your soul. You were made to be free. Galatians chapter 5 verse 1. It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. So why go back? Why hold what hinders? Why wear what I never clothed you in? The garment of shame, take it off. The robe of fear, lay it down. The armor of self-protection, surrender it. I clothe you in peace. I robe you in righteousness. I surround you with songs of deliverance. But you must let go of what I didn't give. The counterfeit cannot comfort you forever. The idol cannot intercede for your soul. The habit cannot replace the Holy Spirit. You are my child, called, appointed, anointed, but you must choose the altar over the stage, the secret place over the spotlight, the stillness over the storm, because in that place of surrender, I will meet you. And what you find in me will be more than enough, more than what you lost, more than what you feared, more than what you let go, because I, the Lord your God, am enough. You've prayed for new things, but your hands are full of old battles. You've asked for peace, but still carry pieces of what broke you. You've declared trust, but never laid down control. And yet I wait at the edge of your surrender, ready to pour out more than you imagined. But I cannot bless what I did not send. I cannot endorse what contradicts my word. I cannot promote what pulls you from my presence. You don't need another breakthrough, you need to let go. You don't need another sign, you need to obey the one I already gave. You don't need more affirmation, you need to return to the last instruction. Let go of bitterness, let go of self-judgment. Let go of the need to explain everything to everyone. You owe no one an apology for obeying me. You owe no one an explanation for following the narrow road. You owe your soul a chance to breathe again. And it starts with open hands. Ask yourself, what am I carrying that God never gave? If it's rooted in fear, release it. If it demands you hide your identity, lay it down. If it's anchored in pride, let it go. I never asked you to build your own kingdom. I called you to seek mine. And my kingdom isn't built on striving, it's built on surrender. My will isn't found in performance, it's found in presence. Return to the simplicity of yes. Yes to what aligns. Yes to what heals. Yes to what I whispered before the world shouted. Yes to me. And when you say yes, the rest becomes clearer. When you say yes, peace flows. When you say yes, grace moves. This is the moment. Right here. Right now. Lay it down. And walk away lighter. Walk away clearer. Walk away unburdened. Because what I have for you doesn't require you to carry what I didn't give. It only requires your yes. And now you are ready. Go forward. Free. Whole. Led by me. Filled by me. Kept by me. You've let go. And now I will pour out. You see, I never needed your perfection, I needed your participation. Not in building what the world deems worthy, but in becoming who I created you to be. Every detour you took clinging to what I didn't give was a delay, but not a disqualification. I am still writing, still speaking, still redeeming, and yes, still calling you. The ache you feel is not confusion, it's conviction. The tension you sense is not pressure, it's pruning. The pull you feel in your soul right now, that is me. Calling you back to alignment, back to truth, back to first love. You are not your decisions. You are not your detours. You are not your disappointments. You are my beloved, and I discipline those I love. Not to punish, to prepare. Not to hurt, to heal. Not to shame, to strengthen. So do not despise this moment of release, this holy intersection of grief and grace. Let it fall, let it break, let it burn away, and then, rise, in purpose, in power, in peace, knowing this, that everything you let go of in obedience will be multiplied in blessing. Everything you lay down in faith will be raised in glory. Everything you surrender to me, I will use for your good and my glory. And this is my final word. What I did not give, you do not need. What I did not speak, you do not have to repeat. What I did not build, you do not have to carry. Let it go, and walk forward into all I have for you, full of grace. Covered in truth, led by my hand, for I am with you. I am for you, and I am enough. Always. I have seen every tear you cried in secret. I was present when the doors closed. I stood beside you when others walked away. You thought those moments defined you, but they refined you. They brought you to the edge of self, so you could finally step into surrender. This is what I've been waiting for. Not your eloquence, not your success, not your plans. Just this, your open hands. Now you are ready. Ready for peace that doesn't waver with circumstances. Ready for love that doesn't shift with moods. Ready for purpose that's rooted in truth, not trends. Because now, your identity is no longer in what you hold. It's in who holds you. I hold your future. I hold your healing. I hold the answers you've been seeking. And I am faithful. So stay in step with me. Don't run ahead. Don't lag behind. Just walk with me, and I will show you the way. Let go each morning. Let go again at night. Let go when fear returns. Let go when old voices whisper. Keep letting go. And keep saying yes. My child, I am proud of you. Not for pretending to be strong, but for choosing to trust. Not for being perfect, but for being present. Not for achieving, but for surrendering. This is where your strength begins, at the end of yourself. And now, watch what I will do. Watch how I redeem. Watch how I restore. Watch how I resurrect dreams you buried long ago. Because nothing you surrender to me will ever be wasted. And everything you release, I will multiply. This is my promise. This is your invitation. Let go, and live in the freedom I've already secured. You are mine, and I am yours. Now and forever. You don't need to keep rehearsing the pain. You don't need to keep returning to the past. You don't need to keep asking if you're enough. You are. Not because of who you are, but because of who I am in you. You are chosen, not by accident but by design. You are called, not because you are ready, but because I am with you. You are covered, not because of your goodness, but because of my mercy. So walk on, with your eyes lifted, with your heart open, with your soul anchored in truth. Let the world wonder how you're still standing, and point them to me. Let the enemy regret ever touching you, because your surrender became your strength. Let grace carry you where effort never could. And never forget, you are not defined by what you let go. You are defined by who you hold on to. Hold on to me. I will never leave. I will never forsake. I will never stop being enough. Let go, and walk in freedom. Let go, and step into destiny. Let go, and receive joy. This is your time. This is your turning. This is your release. Let go of what I didn't give, and rise into everything I did. You've made it this far, not by your own strength, but by my grace. And I am not done. Every step you've taken in surrender has brought you closer to the life I've been preparing behind the scenes. You didn't see it, but I was working. You didn't feel it, but I was moving. You didn't understand it, but I was building. And now, the foundations have been laid. Not on pride, but humility. Not on striving, but surrender. Not on your timeline, but on my eternal purpose. So now, walk forward boldly, not clinging, not doubting, not shrinking, but secure. Secure in my voice. Secure in my promise. Secure in my love that never lets go. Let the old fade. Let the noise fall silent. Let the fear lose its grip. And in its place, receive this holy clarity. You are free. You are whole. You are mine. Let go of what I didn't give. And make room for everything I always planned to. Because when you let go of what I didn't give, you finally become who I created. Not bound by expectation. Not shaped by comparison. Not defined by past decisions, but anchored in truth, firm in faith, rooted in love, and radiant in purpose. The world doesn't need your performance, it needs your presence. It needs your obedience. It needs your testimony of what happens when someone fully surrenders. So speak it, live it, model it, not with perfection, but with peace. You are free now, free to walk in purpose, free to love without fear. Free to build what I bless. So go. The future is not something to fear, it's something I prepared. And everything you've released will make space for the abundance I am about to pour out. Let go, because I am giving you something better. Now, and always.